Welcome to Great Talk and Entertainment. I'm your host, KJ, and this is the podcast where we review movies and TV shows. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel, Great Talk and Entertainment. Hit subscribe, hit that notification button so you can always be up to date with all my latest content. And thank you for supporting me and much more. First of all, I'd like to say Happy Thanksgiving. I hope everybody had a wonderful holiday weekend. I hope you got to eat as much food and turkey and pumpkin pie and sweet potato pie or whatever type of dessert. And I hope you guys enjoyed spending time with your families and friends and etc. Because I'm thankful, and I'm thankful for you guys, for you listeners, for always supporting Great Talk and Entertainment. So I hope every one of you had a wonderful Thanksgiving, baby. So let's get into it. Now, I'm reviewing the new Disney Plus series from Marvel, Hawkeye. This is episode 1 and 2. And yes, this is a spoiler. So you have not seen this show, hit pause, give me a thumbs up if you could, please. Go watch it on Disney Plus. And then come back after that, because this is a spoiler review. So you guys been warned. So here I go, baby. Let's get it. Now, the Hawkeye series starts off in the first Avengers movie, and you see a young Kate Bishop, and she witnesses the attack of Thanos' army in New York, and you come to find out that her father did not make it due to the building collapsing. She then wants to learn to be like Hawkeye, because as a young Kate was saved by Hawkeye during the attack of Thanos' army in New York City. And then obviously it goes to a 5 to maybe 10 years jump, because Kate Bishop is at age 22 and she is a well-skilled archer, swordsman or swordswoman. And also she's a great combat fighter, and now she wants to be a hero just like Hawkeye and hopes to be part of the Avengers. When you get to episode 2, you learn that Kate Bishop has gotten herself into some trouble with the tracksuit. She puts herself in some trouble when she finds out that she discovers a underground auction that was selling Ronin's costume, or suit, I should say, and sword. And she finds out that the tracksuit wanted the suit and sword because they're looking for Rowan, who in the Avengers Endgame, he went on Hawkeye, who's actually Rowan. He obviously he did some vigilante stuff within that time during the Avengers Endgame. And so Kate Bishop, she takes the suit, and now they think Kate Bishop was doing all that vigilante, hitman, just basically killing all the evil mafias and villains, criminals during the snap of Thanos, basically. And what we learn is that why did Jack Duquesne take the sword, And in that we don't really learn, but we know that Jack Duquesne and Kate Bishop's mother, Eleanor Bishop, have a relationship. So, but before we go more into that, but that's pretty much what episode 2 was about. Was Kate Bishop she puts herself in this because obviously she doesn't trust. She's a natural woman who doesn't trust any guy to date her mom, just like any child or person who has a parent that is single and dating or whatever in that case. So that's pretty typical. During episode 1 and 2, you notice that she's trying to solve all these mysteries and cases, and her mom says a quote in episode, I think episode 2. It was episode 2, I believe. Yep. Eleanor told her daughter, like, hey, you are the only two people who think they're like I'm not gonna quote it the right way, but she's basically saying there's only two people in life, or two type of people, I should say. Ellen said a quote that says there's only two type of people who think they're invincible, and that's our rich people and people who are not born poor. And she told her daughter Kate that she's both, and that she is touchable, and because she was upset that Kate and her college friends did a bet where she shot the this bell at a clock tower, and obviously when she did it, the clock tower collapsed because she didn't know that the thing that dangles underneath the bell. I don't know the name of it, just like she doesn't. It's kind of like an automatic. It's timed, so if you mess with that, you're gonna damage the clock, and that's what she did. And so she's still kind of Kate's showing like she's young and immature, and she has a lot of growing up. So that's how that starts with like episode 1 and episode 2 of where Kate Bishop's maturity is. And they don't give a lot about what happened. We just know that after the attack of New York in the year 2012, which is the first Avenger movie. And I'm not saying that's when that movie was released. I'm saying in the timeline it was the year 2012. And so, why does Eleanor Bischoff, Kate's mom, seem kind of shady and sneaky, and she shows signs of being a villain? They haven't revealed that. Jack Duquesne, he's same thing, So let's talk about Eleanor Bischoff. Obviously, like I said, she was the mother of Kate Bischoff. And some of the theories and ideas that I have is obviously I think she could be at least one of the villains. I think. Because so far out of 2 episodes, it kind of shows it. Like reason 1, she could be a criminal underlord type thing. She runs the underground of crime, like the Kingpin or like a mafia type thing, and that's a lot of the theme. This theme, before I continue, this show has the same theme as the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. A lot of crime lords, a lot of mafias from all around the world and so forth. So that kind of gives you an idea. And I think she could be, and maybe her husband's death was like a blessing to her, because I think maybe if Thanos' army never came, they kind of show signs that if that never happened, Eleanor would have, got her husband killed, because in episode 1, when they did the flashback to that, they were arguing about money. So why were they arguing about money? What was she doing that made Kate Bishop's dad seem kind of want to question his wife? Another thing, they show that she runs a security company, a very high-tech security company. And so that made me think, like, okay, maybe, because there was a watch that the Soup Mafia took, sorry. The Soup Mafia took, and I was thinking, if they, if they don't, it's either they work for, or not work for, but doing business with Eleanor Bischoff or Sharon Carter, because if you watch The Falcon and Winter Soldier, which I'm assuming you guys have, because like I said, this is a spoiler, you know that they're selling things off the black market, basically. And, she might be working for, a Sword. Maybe Eleanor Bischoff works for Sword, or Sharon Carter. You never know. Or doing business. I gotta stop saying she's working for her, but she's doing business with them. Or since we know that they're doing Marvel's Secret Invasion, I'm just gonna throw it out there. She could be a Skrull, but I really highly doubt she's a Skrull. Um, if I know Marvel, they're typically gonna do a character that you weren't really paying attention, probably didn't have a lot of scenes, and was mostly in the background, but they're probably a Skrull. Let's talk about Jack Duquesne. I hope I said his last name right. I apologize if I didn't. So I'll just say his first name. Jack is the new guy in Eleanor's life as a love interest, and they already show that they're telling us on this show that he has no good. Like, he went and killed Almado the Third, and that's, I think he's family. I believe they were family. And they don't explain why he did it. We just know he did it because of in episode 2, almost towards the end of that episode, he offers Kate Bishop some candy after they have a little a sword battle. Not I forgot the proper term, but you know what it is. But Kate Bishop knew he was always hiding something, and he knew he was shady. But then I really think that Jack and Eleanor, his relationship, is a love interest, but I also believe that they know they can both benefit off each other. And now, obviously, their relationship started when Kate was off in college, so they haven't really shown any flashbacks, but uh, he just came out of nowhere. You know, the possibilities that I truly think that Jack is connected to the Kingpin, just like Eleanor, I think she could also be connected to the Kingpin, just because of we discover that the leader of the Suit Mafia is Echo, which I'll get into later. But I believe that you know another thing that Jack could be connected with the Winter Soldier and the Falcon and Black Widow, because there's a possibility Jack is working with Valentina Electric de Fontaine. She's a Lady Hydra in the comics, and you see her in the Falcon and the Winter Soldier and the Black Widow movie. Now, I'm not saying that it could just be Jack. It could be Kate Bishop's mom, Eleanor. But I definitely see one of those, and they could both. Who knows? They can both be working with her or for her, and or with Sharon Carter, to be honest. But I think these two have a heavy connection with her, with Lady Hydra, and I would not be surprised if she showed up in this series. Um, why? Because I think this is the time, like, you know, they did the Avengers, they did the heroes, and now in phase 4, you're not just seeing the young Avengers slowly but surely appearing in the MCU, obviously, but you're noticing villains that are containing Tony Stark's tech or trying to steal his stuff from the Avengers compound or the old Avenger Tower in New York. And maybe maybe this is the reason why Jack and Eleanor are also trying to be in a relationship with each other. They could be trying to play each other both at the same time, both try to stab each other in the back and they don't realize it. It could be one of those. But they definitely do. And there is a lot of Black Widow reference, because also in episode 1, we'll talk about Hawkeye / Clint. Him and his kids, Another thing, I was really shocked. I mean, I read the reports, I heard, but I wasn't sure until the official said and they showed the trailer of this. But all 3 of Hawkeye's kids are in the MCU, and I believe it's the same actors. They just got a little bit older, which it's not surprising. And obviously, this is a Christmas show, which is really cool. So the MCU is celebrating Christmas just like we are, or the holidays basically. And so now this opens up tons of different versions of people taking the Hawkeye mantle. You know, both his sons could, his daughter could in the future. I mean, they already kind of teased because, you know, in episode one, while they were introducing Kate Bishop, they were showing how Hawkeye is trying to deal with the PTSD that he has gotten and the hearing loss that he has from obviously battling Thanos, loud explosions, and the death of Natasha, aka Black Widow, because they showed the actual cast of the Avengers Broadway musical play that's actually in New York. And, he sees this woman who is playing Natasha, and he's having flashbacks and it's having a hard time enjoying the show. And then, what I was saying then, that his daughter is very concerned for his dad because he sent them back home to their mothers and he's staying in New York, and she knew. And I would like to all three of his kids knew, but she showed concern. So they're also teasing the idea of her taking the mantle of Hawkeye as well, like Kate Bishop. But nobody said there couldn't be two females who knew how to shoot arrows. There's no rule of they both existing at the same time and going off their own adventures together. So that's cool with me. I also noticed that with Hawkeye that he's trying to be low key. He's trying to be a vigilante. He's not happy with how the Avengers mission is over. He's not too happy how, Thanos is gone. Like, you notice when, in episode two, Hawkeye was trying to get his suit back at that little medieval, little get together where they play fight. It's a real thing. They play fight, and this guy who was a fighter, because the lady was telling hey, don't be coming in this little get together thinking you're gonna do something. We're all cops and firefighters. We're the law type thing. And one of the firefighters took the suit, but he gave it back. But it just shows that he was willing. He was like, "Hey, man, I'll give you the suit back if you just let me pretend kill you." And he did a Thanos reference. Hawkeye did. He basically just bent down and stuck his head out and said, "Go ahead, cut my head off." And he even mentioned Thanos at the same time. He says, I forgot what he said, but he said something along like, "I'm gonna do something that we should have done to Thanos first," something like that. And he's like, "No, I can't do that. You got to make it look real." And of course they did. So he got the suit back, but you still see the effect of Thanos affecting Hawkeye, and he still hasn't got over it. So it looks like you're going to see, like I said, if you've been following, which I'm sure you guys have since WandaVision, a lot of these characters who are already established, from WandaVision to Spider Man to, when I mean Wanda and Vision, I mean Wanda and Vision, sorry. And to Loki himself, who's not that Loki, but I'm not going to get too deep, but Loki basically, and Sam and Bucky, they're still dealing with the death of Tony Stark, but the one thing they're all still dealing with is the aftermath of Thanos. And, it's the if they the and a lot of the well established Marvel characters, you're gonna see that type of same story within the movies and shows. Now, you know, now when we get to next one is like we know that Echo Maya Lopez is the leader of the suit mafia. Yeah, the suit mafia, but they call them the suits. But uh, you know, those characters haven't dealt with Thanos. So when Kate Bischoff is like, man, why ain't you like branding yourself? Why ain't you like, out there and putting your presence out? Why are you hiding? Why are you trying to be secretive? But they don't know. Kate Bishop doesn't understand what he went through with Thanos, and same thing with Echo. Like, I'm not saying like their life is tough, but if you really want to compare, I mean, it's crazy to say the backstory of Echo and what she's going through is ain't nothing to compare what all the Avengers went to Thanos. I mean, that's crazy to say, but it's true, And so that's why you notice a lot of the main characters that you're familiar with are still going through that phase of the aftermath of Thanos, the aftermath of the death of Tony Stark, the aftermath of Captain America staying in his timeline, the aftermath of the Skrulls, basically. So there's a lot going on, and so there's probably like 5 different stories being told in every Marvel movie that's coming up, and including all the new Marvel shows that are going to be on the Disney Plus, even the ones that are already out now, and the ones in the future, because yes, they are passing the torch to the young Avengers, but they're still trying to finish up the story of Thanos, and which is just the aftermath of all that, basically. Now, let's talk about Echo. Now, Echo is the daughter of the Kingpin, and we know Echo's got her own series coming out on the Disney Plus, which that comes out next year, I believe. And obviously, I think this is just the start of building the bridge to connect Daredevil. Is it going to be the Netflix Daredevil? I don't know. It seems impossible for that. But you're like, but it's Netflix. It's Netflix. They can get that from Netflix easily. Compare how difficult and how long it took them to get all the X-Men and Daredevil, or not Daredevil, but Deadpool character back from Fox. But it's not that easy because Marvel or Disney is not trying to buy Netflix. Netflix is staying, obviously. But I just don't know the legal copyright battle terms of could they use that Daredevil character that Netflix produced. Because as far as I know, Netflix owns that Daredevil. Netflix owns that Jessica Jones and Luke Cage. Marvel's got the characters back, but I don't think they can use what Netflix has produced and connect that to the MCU. So I just don't know if it's going to be that one. I know everybody wants it, but here we are. They're building it up to get to Daredevil. I mean, the Kingpin is one thing, but the fact that Echo, like I said, she's the daughter of the Kingpin. So this is the first seed planted, um, and it makes sense. It makes sense, but I don't see Kingpin showing up. I'd be shocked. But if they did, I don't think it's going to be that actor from, like I said, from the Netflix series Daredevil. I don't think it's going to be that Kingpin. But if they do show Kingpin, I'll be shocked. But I'd be really shocked if it was that Kingpin, like I said, from the Netflix show. But either or, here she is. Echoes on it. Now we got it. A fun thing I think is I want to believe that obviously they flipped the script and changed a couple of the stories and origins of certain characters in the Hawkeye series. So I had a theory that Echo was trained in the Red Room because at the end of this episode 2, you see Echo in a room that's red, and I believe that Marvel's not done with the Black Widow cult. I believe they're not done with the Red Room type thing. And, I wouldn't be surprised if she becomes Taskmaster number 2. If I wouldn't be surprised. But she's very well trained and she's already well established. You know what I also think? I think Echo is connected, heavily going to be connected with the Shang-Chi movie, especially with Shang-Chi's sister. I think it has a lot of potential with that. Um, like I said, I think that's what they're doing. But overall, as for episode 1 and 2, I want to say it was a great. They're both great episodes. Marvel definitely delivered. I so far this is a little bit better than the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Um, if you, I'm not. I'm just gonna compare it to that show because these are characters who are more ground. They're not Thor. They're not Wanda. They're not Doctor Strange. They're not the X-Men. They're not superpowers. They're more ground characters. They're more secret agents, spies, vigilante type fighting, uh, stuff like that. Very political. There's a lot of political stuff in this show so far too, just like Falcon and the Winter Soldier. So it makes sense why they're so heavily connected. If I had to rate both shows 1 out of 10, I'm definitely giving it an 8. I'm just gonna play it safe because they only have 2 episodes. There's a lot more episodes coming out. I don't know how many episodes going to be as a whole, but I'll know. I'll know. We'll all know basically. But other than that, I like as far as just not with that, but I think the show was really great. The story is telling is really good. It kept me on the edge of my seat. It made me want to invest more with Kate Bishop. Haley Steinfeld, I hope I said her last name right, and I apologize if I didn't. You know, she's a great singer, but my God, her acting skills are pretty good, and I hope to see her more in future Marvel films, and of course in any other movies that she can land a role in. Obviously, I think she's very talented, and she delivers this character very well, and it's really good. The other characters, there's a lot of actors on that show are doing really good, just bringing these characters to life, and I cannot wait for more. So yeah, overall this is a show that I would definitely recommend to tell my friends and families to check out and to watch. I mean, this is a really good Marvel show, and I like it, man. I can't wait to review more. So yeah, 1 out of 10. I'm giving both episodes an 8. So there you go. So thank you for listening to my review. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Hit that notification button so you can always be updated. Peace